Welcome to another video to master Spring Boot. So in our previous videos we have used a project where we have explained the RESTful APIs. So moving forward I have two options, either to create a new project or to use the existing one. So for today's video I will be using new project, and as soon as we cover a milestone we will change our project. This will help us to separate project for separate topic. So our previous videos were using RESTful API, so I have used single project. So now we will be moving into some Spring core concept. So for that, this new project or new slate is better for you to understand. I could use the one which we have used earlier, but then it will be a lot more messier and it will be a little confusing for you to understand. So for now, for this I will be creating a new project. So now let's jump into. Okay, so the topic for today will be, we will be understanding how are we going to use constructor injection and how are we going to use design pattern in our project with the help of Autowired interfaces and service layer. So you can come to this website startspring.io. We will use Maven, we will use Java, and we will use any default major version, and they will update the group ID. Spring Boot 3. Then artifact ID will be in version. We will still be using Java 17. We can go above and beyond, but I still need to cover feature of Java 17, so we will still be using Java 17. We will just recheck it. Maven Java 3.2.4. you can change and you can use any version actually. Okay, it's just that snapshot or other versions are not stable releases, these are production releases. Now we'll just add our dependency. We'll only add one dependency for now, Spring Web, and then we will generate the jar. So once the jar is generated, we will go to our download folder and then we will move this project into our workspace. So once we are in our workspace, we will unzip this project. We will delete the zip file. Now we will open our IntelliJ. It's already open for me. Now what are we going to do is we are going to import that project in our IntelliJ. So it will take a while for it to load the dependency. Once the project is loaded, you can see that dependency has been loaded. So once the project is loaded, we will open our main and then we are going to come to our application.file. Now we can run this simply, but nothing will happen. We can run it, see whether it is everything is okay or not. So okay, it is started at 8080. So we will stop our server. Now we need to do one thing first, is because this is our 02 and 01, because I will be open 01 after in a while to compare what are we learning in this video. So now we'll just open our application.properties file, and then what are we going to do is we need to change the port number. So to change the port number, server.port, we will type 9090 and we will rerun our application and see whether it is applied or not. So okay, now it is running in 9090. We can stop our application. We will close application.property file. Okay, now we will come to our packages. So to have a proper design, in our earlier videos for RESTful API we have designed everything in one file. In controller we have put our logic, we have done everything in our controller, but that is not a right way of doing it. So you need to have a separate packages for all your logic or all your configs. So first, if any new project you start, you first streamline your packages. So the first package will be controller by default. Then our next package will be bean. Then our third package will be services. Our fourth package will be interfaces, which we can name it as layers or bridges, whatever you want to do it, but I prefer this thing. So in controller, we are going to create customer controller, then we are going to create our customer bean, after that we are going to create our customer interface, then after that we are going to create our customer service. Okay, now you see how beautiful it is looking. Earlier we did everything in one file. Now we have 4 files for simple thing, for only one thing, but this is lot more beneficial when you are building a enterprise level application. The first thing is that we need to define a method in our interface. What our method will be: string get customer. It will be a method without body. I hope you know what interface is. If you don't know what interface is, you can put pin down in the comment section. Later I will make a video so that you will understand what interface is. Now we have our interface with default method, empty method without no body, get customer. So now what are we going to do is we will come to our customer service. So we will come to our customer service, and then we are going to implement our, because to call interface we need to use implement, and to extend a class we need to use extend. So because we need to implement, so we will use our implement. So now you see that it is giving me an error. Why it is giving me this error? The reason it is giving me an error is because this customer have a method implemented. Okay, implement this method. So I will use this IDE shortcut, and then it will just implement this method, public string get customer, return null. We can return that. So now we have a method implemented in our service layer, and which is a default method in our interface. Now coming to our, so for now we have just created our bean, but we will just create the variable, but we are not using bean in this video because the video will get longer. We'll use our bean in upcoming videos in the same project. That's why I created a new project for this series. Now we'll come to our controller. So first thing we need to do is we need to add our controller annotation so that Spring pick this up. Now the most interesting topic is the constructor injection. Okay, so now Spring is all about dependency and inversion of control. These are the core concepts. I do created some videos long back on these two concepts in theory part, but in short, what you need to understand is that injection is more like inserting something. So we have a lot of dependency. Dependency is more like some other project. So we need to insert that project in our project. So in older days we have these concepts 10 years, 20 years back, if I need to call some other person code, they need to give their code to me, means they need to give their jar to me, and then I need to import that jar manually in my project, and then only I am able to use those features or use the method which that person has used. Now with the Spring, these things happen automatically, and we just need to auto wire it those dependency. But that is more over towards the dependency which are developed by someone else. But what about the dependency which we are going to build, the logic which we are going to build? So this is, in short, is a feature where you can inject those dependency. They provide three ways to inject a dependency: constructor, setter, and field. So many people, I have seen many codes of from big company to small company, they use field injection very often, and it's quite simple to write. That's why people do it. Constructor injection is used for mandatory dependency, and setter is used for optional dependency. Later you will understand why constructor is used. And if even if you are working in a company and you just go and see the project, see whether what type of dependency they are using. I make sure, means I'm confident enough that they might not be using constructor or setter, they will be using field, and Spring don't recommend to use field. Anyhow, if you are watching till video till now, I want you to subscribe to my channel. That gives me motivation to upload more videos. Like this video and pin down in the comment section that what else you want me to create video on. Subscribe to that button. Okay, moving forward. So to do construction injection, what we need to do is we need to create our customer service. Okay, so we are importing this customer as a private field. As you could see, this customer is linked to this one. Just okay. Now what are we going to do is to do construction injection, we need to use auto. For one dependency, Autowired is not required, but anyhow we are going to use it because we are going to have a lot more dependency in the coming videos. We will create our constructor, parameterized constructor. This is a parameterized constructor. This is also one of the core concepts of Java. And then we need to use this keyword. Okay, that's all, simple. This is our constructor injection. We are injecting this dependency into our controller, which is telling bean, hey Spring, whenever you found this dependency, you just inject into my controller. Now we are going to just simply create our get mapping. As you know, we have two ways of doing it, either value or directly we can define it. We could just pass that slash v1.0 slash customers, and then we are going to create our public method. It is returning string. So yeah, get customers. We have no variable. What are we going to return? How are we going to return? We haven't. So should we return like this? No, this is not right? Because why we have defined this thing here? Earlier we are returning everything from our controller. Now we will not do this. We will get the value from how we are going to get it. So we will call our constructor injection. Simple. You see what is happening? This is coming from our service layer, from another class. Earlier what we did everything via same class. Now we are reading it from different class. This is the magic, and even the beauty is that this method is also, all my methods are defined in my interface. So I can have get constructor, get customer, add customer, update customer, all the list of methods will come in here. So that's the beauty of Spring, not even Spring, that's the beauty of Java, I would say, overall. Okay, now what are we going to do is we just run our application and see what will happen. Okay, now see, it is giving me an error. I did one mistake. What mistake I did? Oh, think my okay, leave it. I think my screen is not working. Okay, if you see that it is giving me an error, application failed to start. Why it failed to start? Considering defining a bean of type Spring Boot service customer service in your configuration. As I said, right, that Spring need to inject this dependency. Okay, Spring need to inject this dependency, but I need to tell Spring, hey, this is a bean. You need to inject it. How do Spring know that this is a dependency or this is a bean and we need to inject? So there is an annotation called component. There are a couple of more annotation related to this, but we will cover that later on. So as soon as we add this component, now we will rerun our application. So you see the error is gone. So and it is running at port 9090, which we have defined in our app.props. Now we'll have our postman and we'll see that whether it is working or not. We'll create a new collection for it. We'll name that collection 3. Now we will add a request. To the request I will just be 1.0 customer. So now we'll send this. Okay, it is giving me an error. It is saying that, okay, you see, yeah, because my port is wrong. Okay, so you see it is working fine. I am coming from service layer. You see the beauty, the magic, what we have learned so far. Now you see that it is working fine. The value is not defined in, there is no logic is defined in here. It is just injecting. This is just a controller layer. You shouldn't have any logic in here. This is my service layer, and here I am defining all my logic. Our business layer, you could say, whatever. We can have one more layer actually, but we'll cover those things when we are going to in upcoming video. So now you see the beauty of it. So now what are we going to do is, for your reference, we are going to open our earlier project so that you know what we are. So now this is the older project. If you are following me if you're following this playlist since beginning, so this is my original where we only have customer controller. And here if you see, right, everything is defined. We are defining everything in our here in this layer, all the logic, all the values. Yeah, we need to cover all this request parameter, path variable in our new, with this new logic, or you could say this new, with using the Spring core concept basically, in short. So we need to do all these things in our in this type of logic, in our using Spring Constructor Injection, injection, and all those things. All those things will come in JPE Hibernate. So now I just wanted you to compare it, that how it was earlier. Everything, all this logic will cover, because in this video it is again getting longer. We haven't covered our bean. We haven't covered our bean concept here. Our bean is still empty. We are not reading any values from bean. So we need to do this also. So this will come in next video. So I hope you understand that where are we and what are we doing. If you haven't watched this video, if you're new to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and you can watch the entire previous RESTful API playlist so that you will understand and you can follow along. Okay, this is the new beginning, or new slate for this series. Or I wouldn't say it is the same series or same playlist. It's just that for that Spring core concept like injection and all, because I could simply, from here I could simply connect to DB and just explain you everything in one file. People usually do that, but I just wanted you to make it understand how in industry it is designed or it is developed, and what are the best practices. So that's all I think for now. If you have any question, you can pin down in the comment section, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.